I just got a little startled there for a minute. Sorry. I wasn't ready to start recording yet, but here I am. I don't want to keep turning it off and turning it back on again because I don't know how to do that actually. You know, how you see some people in their videos, they stop it, they do whatever they're doing, they come back and they start recording again. I don't know how to do that, and I don't know if this tablet actually gives me the choice to do that or not. I don't think so because it's. I mean, I paid just over $100 for it. So what do you want? It's just a basic tablet, 10-inch tablet, but still just a basic. You know, I didn't want to get anything new because the last time I got a new tablet, and for reasons that I won't go over right now, it only lasted me 21, 22. Well, I guess I had it about 3 years. So, um, but yeah, so I got this one just not because when I bought the other one in 2020, it was for I had to go online to do a couple of Zoom meetings. Well, not a couple, a series of Zoom meetings because I was in DBT online at the time, dialectical behavioral training, dialectical behavior therapy. Sorry, not training. Well, it is kind of training for your brain. Let's put it that way. It teaches you how to. It teaches you distress tolerance, mindfulness, emotional regularity, and I can never remember the last one. But it involves a number of things like just using your wise mind instead of your emotional mind or your rational mind. You bring the two mindsets together, and you use you use the middle of, of the mind instead of being just all feeling or all logic. You know, you have to be a bit of both, and I think that everybody can benefit from that because sometimes when we make decisions about things, we can or statements or whatever it might be, we're just in life alone. You know, sometimes we can use our feeling mind, and it that often is impulsive and gets us into trouble. And then if we use the too logical mind, we leave out the feelings that are involved with this particular thing that we're deciding. So you have to be able to pull the two minds together, which is it's a great skill to have. And mindfulness is just staying in the moment, not dwelling on the past or ruminating too much into the future because the past is gone, the future is unknown, and all we have is right now. So, I mean, it, that's kind of a little bit more difficult to do if you don't do it all the time. I find you've got to use those skills on a pretty regular basis. And mindfulness is just pulling yourself back from that. I don't dwell on either really, but I can still get upset about things that happened in the past that I mean I can't change them now. They're gone. But it's one of those shoulda, woulda, coulda things, you know. I should have done this. I would have done this. I could have done this. Uh, you tend to kind of beat yourself up when you're in that mindset. So, you know, you can't stay fixated on the past, but you can't ruminate about the future because none of us knows what the future holds. You know, we can be here one day and gone tomorrow or gone, but you know, I can be here now and in an hour from now, I might not be here. Who knows what could happen? You know, I mean, I don't foresee anything happening, but we just don't know. And so that's that skill and just staying grounded, I guess, just staying in the moment. And there's different techniques that you can look into under mindfulness if you just, you know, search for them, whatever search bar you might use, or if you want to go to YouTube and search it out there, I find there's always a lot of very valuable videos there to to choose from. So that's my go-to a lot. I like YouTube. Now I've heard a lot of people put it down and say, "Oh, you're getting your information from YouTube," and no, I'm not getting my information from YouTube. I just I look things up on YouTube, and I look for the most. I might sample, like, that they have shorts under each category. And if you go into shorts and you find somebody in shorts that you like, then you look their videos up. And then it might be saying, because there's a few people that I follow now on YouTube because I really like them. They're logical, they make sense to me, they resonate with me, and I think they're good. They're good people. They're good, and they've got. I've checked out their backgrounds, and everything checks out. And they're very popular with a lot of people. People really like these YouTube creators, content creators. So, excuse me, I look tired today, and I am kind of tired. Um, but what has happened today? It's just um, I've been thinking about the years that I've been in recovery, and this is my eighth year now. I I was an alcoholic for, for approximately 40 years. Um, I had it under control. I didn't drink like really hard for 40 years. I wouldn't be here. Um, and I'm 60. I'll be 62 this year, and I quit drinking when I just turned 54. So, you know, um, I'm proud of that fact that that I quit. It hasn't been a bed of roses though. It doesn't mean that when you quit, all your problems go away. They don't. They don't. That was the magical thinking on my part. I think in the first couple of years, I thought, you know, why isn't anything getting better? It's been this long, and it's going into 8 years now, and I mean, I still have issues. I just can face them head on now, which I'm doing life on life's terms, and I have been doing that for a long time, and I work at it every day. I'm dedicated, I'm intelligent, and I'm I'm worth it. I'm worth the life that I have left to live. Now it might not look successful to other people. That's really not my problem. What I consider success is kicking the habit and getting sober. That's my part of my success story. That's not the only successful thing I've done in my life. And I mean, I could get you out the whole sheet to list off all the things that I've done in my life that have been very, very positive things. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not a braggart and I'm not a narcissist. I'm a realist and I'm down to earth. And I have learned to appreciate myself. And it took me a long, 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 long time. So I'm not afraid to say I'm intelligent, I'm logical, I have common sense and decency, I have dignity, self respect, and I do believe I have a very valuable self worth. I'm not saying that those things come easy because they don't. I still have days where I get down on myself, quite a few, quite a few. That hasn't changed. But I'm still in therapy and I'm still learning to love who I am. And it's hard. It's hard for anybody. It's hard for people that didn't even have an addiction to find out who you really are and to actually love who you are. It I think it takes a lot of people their whole lifetime, and I'm sure that there are things that I will never recover from till the day I die. A lot of us probably think that way and feel that way. But I would like to think that after I'm gone, that I'll be thought of, at least for a little while, I'll be thought of fondly and warmly. And I hope that I leave or have left people with a positive feeling. I hope that's what I've done. not everybody will feel that way about me, and I realize that. I know that. Not everybody that has forgiven me for the fact that I was an alcoholic. I know that too. That's been really difficult to face. I do understand it. I do. I don't understand really, when it comes to forgiveness. I'm a very forgiving person. I have forgiven some of the worst people, some of the worst things that another human being could do to another human being. I've forgiven and allowed, even allowed that person or people to come back into my life, but not now. Not now. I wouldn't. There's no way. I can think of at least two people that I will never um, allow back into my life again. There's no way. Even if they were the last people on this earth, and they're both men, by the way. Um, and then there's people that I really, really love who probably don't forgive me. And I forgive them for not forgiving me because they have their reasons, I'm sure, whatever they may be. That's their reasons. And they're entitled to feel whichever way they want to feel about me. It's sad, but I mean, what are you going to do? You can't please everyone, even if you have said you're sorry, and even if you're human and you've made mistakes. Not everybody looks at life like that. I like to think, I look at people and think, except for these two people that I'll never forgive, or I'll never forget what they did. Except for people like that, I think most people are worth forgiving, at least for yourself. Just forgive people for your own good. You don't have to let them back in your life, but forgiving them feels a lot better than holding on to grudges and resentments and anger. And I am far from over that. Like, I still have a lot of resentment myself about things that happened in the past. But like I said, the past is gone and nobody can do anything about that now. We just have to get on and make the best of the future and the best of what's happening right now in front of us. Today I had to let a friend go, and it was very sad, very sad. But I think for both of us, it was the right thing to do. And I didn't do it in a way to cause any pain. I didn't leave angrily. Um, I just left it because I was losing myself again to the pressure of feeling like I had to own up to her standards. And I felt like I was begging for crumbs at her table. And that's not a very good feeling to have towards a friend. And that was a real warning sign for me that had been coming up over probably the last year or so. But I kept letting it slide, and um, I just thought maybe I was making too much of it. But after several chances, it was clear to me that this wasn't going to change. This wasn't going to get any better. So I'm a little sad today because of that. Sometimes we have to do things that feel horrible and that make us feel sad, but we have to do them for our own mental health. And it's not to hurt anyone. It's just to um, take care of our own hearts and minds and feelings. And yeah, just it's not always an easy thing with friends, is it? You can love a friend for a time, and sometimes people come in and out of your life, and some are meant to stay forever, and some aren't. You know. And I think of the song "Turn, Turn, Turn" because the words in that are so true. There's a time for for gathering in, and there's a time for letting go. And that's how it had to be. So I hope one day that she can understand it wasn't out of anger, it wasn't out of malice, it wasn't out of hatred. Excuse me, because I don't hate anybody. I never will hate. I don't like that word even. I will say I hate Donald Trump. I'm not afraid to say that. But I have my reasons for that too. And I think a lot of you know what those reasons are, but I'm not even going to talk about him because he's not worth my time and effort. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there, get that off my chest, and see if anybody else has ever been in this position before, and what did you do? What and whatever you did, how did it make you feel? How did you feel before you did that particular thing? What skills did you use? Or what ideas did you use behind what you did? And I would really like feedback if you wouldn't mind. So um, maybe give the video a like and leave me a comment down below. And I will get back to everyone that asks me a question or leaves a statement. Okay. Thanks for listening. Take care.